Hi, welcome back to our show, Reset Your Hormones to Achieve Dream Health. Here we are after another whole month in Melbourne for episode 2. And once again, we will be joining with Poornima Vamsi, who is a hormone balance coach. And I am your host, Abby. So, welcome back. And I hope you learned something new and exciting and beneficial for your health with this episode. And today's episode will be covering the myths and realities of achieving your dream health. So I'm so excited to have Purnima on the show today, and she's been traveling, so I'm sure she'll be telling you about her travel journeys and keeping well and safe with this COVID as well, while we're touching on our hormone health. So without further ado, here we are, and let me show you a bit of an intro about Purnima, and then she'll be on the live with us. Welcome back, Purnima. How are you?
Absolutely doing good, Abhi. Thank you so much for that beautiful intro as always. And
Yes. I am so excited to have you from all the way in India. So how are
yes,
you doing?
yes, thank you. Thank you again. And I'm doing good. So there was some family emergency that pushed me to travel during these uncertain times. And that said, we are more settled in now, and it feels so good to be back home. I was skeptical to use the word home because I do consider Australia also that way. But yeah, so good to be back to the place where I was born, where I was raised, to see my parents, to see my in-laws, and most importantly, to be with my 5-year-old whom I have not seen for more than 18 months. So such a pleasure to be back over here, Abhi.
I'm so glad that you had a safe journey there, and we're looking forward to having you back again safe and sound.
Yeah.
So let's get into our show today. So we're talking about dream health and the myths and realities surrounding it.
Yeah.
So what is dream health, and is it truly achievable, Purnima, like in your own opinion?
Well, a dream health potential, if I have to explain, it's something when any woman for that matter, I tell them, close your eyes for say 30 seconds and then visualize yourself as what you want to be. And whatever the first image that comes to an individual, it can be anything. Again, it's different for every person. For me, 5 years back, my dream health was to stay off thyroid medication, to come from 90 to 68 kgs, because that was my pre-pregnancy weight. So that was my version of dream health. And with several clients that I have worked with, each of them have had their own version. So dream health is something which you have always been dreaming for. Every woman who wants to see herself as that individual is the dream health, is the dream health that I would describe as. So, and if it is truly achievable or not, well, I'm sure many of us would agree that it definitely is. However, I'm sure we would also have had walked a path where we would have seen a lot of dissatisfaction, a lot of struggle to be able to achieve that health and that dream version of ours. So to keep it short, dream health is achievable and you don't really have to struggle for it. It is easily achievable, if I'm allowed to use the word easily.
Okay. So today's topic is about myths and realities around achieving dream health. So can you clarify what are some myths and what are some realities around it?
Absolutely, Abhi. So the usual myth that women have to achieve their dream health is, I have to most of us, I would not use the word most of us, but somehow, technology and the use of technology has made us believe that it is something that you can achieve overnight. Like we always know, overnight success does not last long. That you have to take that ladder. You cannot stand on ground and then aim to achieve the topmost step on the ladder overnight. Yes, it is possible if you have the right plan, you have the right mindset, and you know the path that you are walking. But just believing that, all right, I'm here, I'm told that I should be following diet A, which is potentially not my diet that I have been eating, but it's some form of fat diet. And then I have seen somebody else achieve. So if she has been able to do it, I will be able to do it. And hence I will follow that particular diet. When we get into such zone, what would happen is, in the quest of wanting to see that weighing scale at a number which we actually like, we are depriving ourselves of all the otherwise health benefits that we should be seeing, and also being able to enjoy the journey. We potentially make the journey a struggle for us rather than it being a beautiful path. So that way, if somebody thinks that, it's an overnight success that you can achieve your dream health, then no, it definitely needs little effort, and it definitely needs little time. Two, there is no magic pill. Women who think that I can take pill A, pill B, pill C, and it will suck my fat and it will melt my fat. Yes. It will suck my fat. It will melt my fat. Darling, I would advise to them, or my advice to each of you who are listening to me in live or replay, is there is no such thing called as the magic pill. Magic, we all know, is illusion, and this is also an illusion that gets created. How much ever it might be claimed for, it is not the right way to see a health benefit.
So probably today we would see. So the myth is that one pill doesn't fit all. So you're going to have to take your own journey to achieve your dream health. But reality is it's achievable.
Yes, absolutely. And these are all the myths, that of achieving the dream, of wanting to achieve the dream health in a short span. But the reality is, when you know the path, or if you see that you are not able to do it by yourself, you want to seek guidance, do with the person who has already done it. Learn about them, do your homework properly about them, and then seek for help, ask for help. And when they provide you with recommendations, suggestions, and a plan which would allow you to potentially visualize that version of your dream health, you have achieved 50% of it. The rest 50% is just a cakewalk.
Yeah. So I think we've touched on this next question. It is that, why do we fail to achieve our dream health? Like, what are the reasons? I mean, obviously, one of the reasons is that looking at another person and thinking that will work for us as well. That's definitely going to be a fail. But what other failures can be achieved, involved with your dream health?
What other things is, Abhi, many of us see ourselves as individuals where we believe that if we have to have that number on the weighing scale to our liking, then we have to go off our traditional foods. Now, I'm from India. I'm a South Indian. Now, I love my idlis, dosas, pesrettu, and rice flakes, upma, etc. Now, I cannot stay away from it and eat just salads or be on juices or go on keto or go off carb diet for a very long duration. I will be able to do that for a short time, but after that, my subconscious mind will come and tell me, come on, what are you doing? This is all something that you ate as a child, but today, because you see yourself weighing on the higher side, you're depriving me of the foods that I like, and hence we get into that offensive mode. We try to do something our subconscious mind will not allow us to do, and hence the cravings come into picture. So that way, going off traditional foods is one of the major reasons for failure. So if we are able to learn to work with our dream version of our health while we still eat what we ate as a child, there is nothing that can stop us from achieving that version in as short a span of 87 days.
Yeah, yeah, I get that, but but do you think the environment and the atmosphere actually plays a part in what we eat, moderation, even the changing lifestyle and body type? Do you think that actually has a impact on our dream health?
Well, the food actually has a minimal impact on our dream health version. What has a major impact is this part of our head. So all the thoughts that keeps going, and I mean, science says we have 60,000 thoughts per day or per minute. I need to get this right, but I know it's 60,000 thoughts per, let's take it per day for now. So if it is 60,000 thoughts per day,
Oh
imagine
God.
the kind of stress that we are putting ourselves at. And most of these thoughts, because of the kind of upbringing that we have, because of the kind of environmental circumstances, social circumstances that we have, are negative. And when we feed our mind, when we feed our brain with those negative thoughts, all that it does is goes and releases cortisol hormones. I don't want to get into the technicalities of it, but those are the hormones which creates major imbalance or which gives rise to major health issues in any woman for that matter.
So
So while
ultimately,
we might, yeah, sorry, go ahead, Abhi.
no, no, so sorry, I
Yeah,
interrupted
while
you.
we might still say today you're in Melbourne, I am in India. So the environment is different, the climate is different, everything, the circumstances are different, but the food that we are probably eating, what we get, the quality, everything is different. But even then, the weightage of a food in compared to those thoughts that run our mind and that which troubles us physically is way too less. So food stands on a lower scale. What stands more important, what has more important is what mindset that we have, what's the thought that we're allowing to seed or to allowing to grow in our
So
mind.
the emotional thoughts and emotional balance actually impacts our hormonal balance.
Absolutely, probably I would say if I'm allowed to say, I would say 100%. But with benefit of doubt to science and everything that we have, it is definitely 60% and above. We
Yeah.
can eat the best of foods in the world, but if things are not right over here, the health will not be there.
Yeah, it does have a huge effect on everyday lifestyle, doesn't it? So
Yeah.
we know, I mean, knowing someone who's done it, knowing someone who's actually come off such a strong medication as something that treats thyroids, because we all know that it's a very huge impactive medication on your body and your hormones. Having done it in your own way, having lost that weight, having achieved your dream health, can you take us through your personal journey?
Absolutely, Abhi. I would love to. So, 5 years is what, that 5 years has transformed me as an individual upside down. I have evolved to be a person who I didn't know existed within me. So allow me to elaborate a little bit. So when I started my journey, I started with the quest of wanting to see myself off those thyroid medication. And this was exactly 5 years ago when I was diagnosed with thyroid, and I was told you have to take this one pill every single morning so that you can function properly.
So let me
And
get this straight before you elaborate a bit more. So your idea of dream health at that point in time was to come off the thyroid medication and lead a naturally healthy life.
yes, yes, it was not just weight that was bothering me. And more than the weight, it was the thyroid pill that I was advised to take every single morning on empty stomach and then wait for half an hour before I could eat. And I could not just digest the fact that a pill will control my entire rest of my life. So that's when I thought, what is it that I can do? And obviously, like all of us do, I went ahead, researched in Google, I spoke to several people, I spoke to my own doctor, and everybody whom I spoke to told me once on thyroid medication, forever on thyroid medication. I was such, at times disheartened because I did not want that to happen with me. I worked, I researched, analyzed, studied, certified myself to be a hormone balance coach. And then, long story short, now it's what? 2 years. Yeah, in September, it's going to be 2 years. So I have stopped taking my thyroid medication for 2 years now. And the benefit of not taking thyroid medication, or the benefit of working with my hormonal imbalances and bringing about that balance, has also allowed me to shed around 30 kgs. So that way, from 90 to today, standing between 60 to 61, 62 at times, and more importantly, going off those thyroid medications, I have learned and understood that working superficially just on our weight will not help if we do not target the root cause, which is the hormonal imbalance.
Well, on behalf of all our viewers, I would like to say congratulations.
Thank
But
you.
as much as you would like to make it sound easy, I know that it couldn't have been. So, what difficulties? And at times, it would have been some things would have been just easy. Say your diet didn't change, so that would have been an easy path. So, what were some difficulties and easy endeavors that you faced in your journey?
That's a beautiful question, because I mean, it's always is said, when you look back, you will know what are those steps, or what is that. What are, yeah, literally, what are those steps that you have taken, and if it was worth taking those steps or not. So likewise, with the steps that I took with my dream health, I was also equally inquisitive like every other woman. So I'm open and I will admit, I tried the GM diet, I tried going on salads, I tried staying on juices for 3 days so my weight will drop. I did these things initially, and this was because of lack of awareness. And this was because I was desperate. I was desperate that I want to see myself healthy. But I realized that, and apart from just doing these things on my diet, in a day, I used to do 3 different types of workout. I did yoga, I did Zumba, I did gym. And when I mixed A and B, A being workouts and B being the food patterns, etc., I was told by my GP, or the doctor over here, that my blood pressure was dropping, I was having vertigo, and that I should not be stressing myself to this extent. So then is when I realized that what I'm doing is not right, because I'm being desperate. Yes, I did see the weighing scale go down. No doubt that it went down, but I was still on thyroid medication. I was still told, no, the numbers haven't come to the place where you can be where you can be removed of those dosage. So even though I shed 15 kgs of 20 kgs approximately, I still took those medication.
Yeah.
And then when I worked on myself inside out on those hormonal imbalances, I was asked to go off those medication for 3 months, a round of blood test, another 3 months, a round of blood test, and then it became constant for me to not take those medicines for life. So that way I still do my regular blood checks. And what is it that I learned is that as long as we do not learn how to work with stress. Now, what is stress? It's a very vague word that I've used. Stress. We all speak about I'm stressed, but what exactly is it? How does it impact us? What can we do to be able to respond to it than react to it? What are those tools and resources that we can utilize to bring that control in our mind, body, and soul? How do we connect all these three together? When I did all of these, it is then that I realized that the journey does not have to be a struggle, but something which can be achieved with ease and flow. So that's about me, Abhi. It took me back to the years when I was taking those medication and how I rushed and was desperate enough. But yeah, I think we all learn, and I learned. I'm so glad I learned, because I'm now sharing it with thousands and thousands of women across the globe.
So I have a question for you. So all these workouts, say Zumba, yoga, gym, all these fad diets, as we call it, do you think it was actually creating more havoc with your hormones?
I would not say it was creating more havoc. I would probably say, because I was desperate to see myself
So maybe
off
more
this
stress?
medication. Yes, so I did everything together. I'm a kind of a person who is a goal achiever. So if I want to do something, I will do no matter what. That's how I am. And in that quest of wanting to achieve the goal that I had set to myself, I incorporated multiple things in my life in one go, which led to fatigue, which made me more stressed than giving me the actual result. But
So
otherwise, if
fatigue
an
caused stress,
individual,
and then the stress would have contributed to your hormone balance even further.
absolutely, absolutely. And I always recommend women, who come to me, letting me know that I think I'm eating everything right. I think I'm working out well, but still I don't see any difference. I don't see any change in how my body looks like. Then, I mean, if we are really doing what we need to do, then our body will respond. So it is beyond that food, beyond that exercise. It is within us. It is internal. And that is when I learned, did I see the actual result of what I wanted, or actual goal that I achieved.
Well, it's definitely a very illuminating and a very rewarding journey that you've gone on yourself. And I think your journey will benefit a lot more females in the future, and definitely the up and coming generation as well, that they just think that medication is the solution for everything. So maybe with your expertise and with your experience, you can definitely shed some light on this thinking and help them to definitely achieve their dream health. So thank you for really joining us today. I'm looking forward to our next session on the third Wednesday of October. And
Absolutely.
hopefully you'll be back in town by then.
Hoping
Definitely
fingers
hoping so.
crossed.
Fingers
Yeah,
crossed. But
crossed.
either way, we'll be going online and live on the third Wednesday of October. I forgot to check the date before I actually
All
joined on
right.
live. So
All right. Right.
thank you so much for joining, and please keep safe in India and on your journey back, and looking forward to seeing you soon.
Yes, and it's 20th of October. I just quickly checked. So it's 20th of October for all those viewers who are desperately waiting for our next session. So we would be back. And I always close every interview, every place that I go, Abhi, with this statement of mine, which definitely each woman needs to think and ponder about, that if there is no health, it does not matter how much of anything else you have. Time to
Definitely.
wake up, my dear woman. Wake up, reach out to me through Messenger. My name goes by Purnima Peri on Facebook. Reach out to me on Messenger. We would also be sharing. You have my group details also scrolling over here.
Right
Reach
at the
out.
bottom.
Yes, reach out, and I'm more than happy to help. Lots and lots of women are being benefited through the 87 days program that I cater to. And there are multiple offerings of the 87 days program that you could choose from. And if you have that burning desire to be able to see yourself in a transformed version, whatever version that you visualize yourself, reach out.
And we're
And
not just talking about women on thyroid medication as such. We're talking about any woman that wants to achieve dream health through hormonal balance.
absolutely, you're suffering with thyroid, PCOD, PCOS, endometriosis, plantar fasciitis, anything, even up to cancer. You are suffering, you want support, reach out. reach out. I have worked with vast group of clientele of all the health symptoms that I just mentioned. So more than happy to support in whatever way possible and to take you from here to here, whatever this version of yours is.
And I also believe, like you believe, that, if without help, no matter how much of anything you have, it's not worth it. But
Yep.
I also believe that getting help from someone who's actually traveled that journey personally, they're
Yep.
able to make a difference, create a difference, because no one can understand better the journey than someone who's gone through it.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Abhi. Well said.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us today. I'm looking forward to our next session. So 20th of October at 8:30 p.m. I will be joining you live again. Thank you so much. Thank you, viewers,
Thanks.
for joining us, and looking forward to seeing you again. Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.